Howdy. Welcome to Comp 2 on the internet for summer 2022. My name is Eric Fish. I'll be teaching the course. Want to use this first video as an introduction to the course, go over a few things. One, just want to get us into D2L and see where things are at. If you're familiar with D2L, hopefully it's not anything much different than what you've already been doing. Almost all the material, one, you're going to have the home page. Generally, I'll put up schedule reminders about when things are coming due. So like here for Thursday, June 2nd, you should watch YouTube videos. This one's right now, it's number 1, number 2, and number 3, and complete the syllabus quiz. Kind of get you introduced to the course and make sure you can use D2L and all that. But the big thing about any internet course, be sure to let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Particularly as we get started, but any time throughout the course, you got to let me know what's going on there. I can't look through my computer and see your face on the other side, right? So you got to let me know if I'm losing you or if I'm just not being clear about something. And if I need to clarify anything, that's kind of my job, right? Most of the material for the course is going to be here on the content page. Let me get in here as a student. So when I say something's on the content page, that's what I'm talking about. But on the table of contents, you'll see the course documents, the class schedule, which I'll go over here in a second, the course syllabus, I'll go over that here in a little bit. But that first syllabus quiz is right here. It's also located under response lectures and prompts. Excuse me. That was kind of a gross sound, wasn't it? The daily work is going to be response papers. The first one's a syllabus quiz. Then the second one's going to be on some readings on the American Enlightenment. And then I'll start to keep adding those as we start progressing through the course. I don't like to put too many up there all at once because it tends to confuse people about what's coming due. Also, you'll see the YouTube videos right here. The number I'm going to do number 3 here in a second. I'm doing number 1 right now, right? Then you see a list of readings and viewings. So if I say something's up there on D2L on the content page, particularly a reading or a viewing, this is what I'm talking about. And then, of course, there's some help resources. If it's been a while since MLA formatting, there's an MLA lecture down here. And also I'm going to do a video about MLA formatting that might help, particularly if it's been a while since you've had Comp 1. You might need a little refresher there. That's pretty normal. But pretty much the course material is going to be there on the table of contents. When you submit material for the online course, it's going to come. You're going to do that under assignments here. There's that video number 2 shows you how to do the syllabus quiz and how to put it into the Dropbox here. And this used to be called Dropbox. Now it's called assignments. So if I say Dropbox folder, I'm talking about the assignments folder. I try not to do that, but sometimes it slips out. But that's where you're going to submit material. When we do discussions, you'll come here to the discussion boards links right there, and we'll start doing discussions probably the 3rd week of class. And then, of course, grades. You're going to see your grades listed nice and neatly in a nice column there. There's all the daily work. This first one's a bonus, so you don't see the points listed, but because I'm going to drop the lowest response paper grade. We got 3 major essays and a final exam, and that's where you're going to see all the grades for the course. If something looks wrong in the D2L gradebook, let me know, because all I do at the end of the semester is I download the D2L gradebook into a spreadsheet, and that's how I do the grades. So if something's wrong in the D2L gradebook, something's going to be wrong with your grades. So if you see a mistake on the grades, be sure and let me know. Let me show you what it looks like from my point of view. Get out of that. Probably going to take me to the course homepage here. But for me, the grades, look like that. So it's just this huge spreadsheet going all the way across here. We got 25 people in the course at least. So the odds of me making a mistake are pretty good. So don't be shy about saying, hey, I thought I got a 30 out of 30 on response number 2, but you put down 25 out of 30. I might have just transposed a grade or just put the wrong grade in the wrong little box there. So don't be shy. When you have questions or concerns, let me know as soon as possible. I'm going to go back to the content page. For the syllabus quiz, the first assignment, you're going to, D2L is slow today. You're going to go through this course syllabus and just answer questions about it. I'm going to go over it real quickly. It's Comp 2, you're not first semester freshman anymore. And all these syllabi are pretty much the same, right? You need to show up, do the work, communicate, keep small problems small, be professional on discussion boards and any other thing. Be nice to people. And that's pretty much life, right? Can't have a good relationship with anybody if you don't show up, do the work, and communicate, and be nice to them. So it's just kind of all that codified. This is an internet course. It's asynchronous. We're not going to have class meetings together. If you need to talk to me during my office hours, I'm happy to set up a Zoom meeting if you have to see my face. But generally, I found most of it for internet students, they want emails. They want their emails answered fairly quickly. That's what I tend to focus on. But if you do need to talk to me, I'm happy to do that. Very important to note, assignments are due on Mondays and Thursdays by midnight. I'm not actually up at midnight, so if you're somebody who's going to be turning stuff in at 2, 3 in the morning, you don't have to email me and ask if that's okay. I won't even be up. As long as it's there by Tuesday morning or Friday morning, I'm happy. I'll post office hours once we get going. I'm doing this video on May 23rd, so we still got a week and a few days before class actually starts. Prerequisite, if you didn't pass Comp 1, you might want to make sure you're supposed to be in Comp 2. Comp 1 is a prerequisite, and they may not find out till halfway through the semester, and they'll just kind of yank you out of the class and you've done all that work for nothing because you weren't supposed to be in there. So be careful there. Basically, and again, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you because you could read faster than I can talk, and also you're going to do the syllabus quiz. But basically, this class is writing about literature, and just we're kind of. It's not quite a sequel to Comp 1. It's a little bit different. Where Comp 1 you did kind of expository writing, but here we're going to be writing about literature. But the focus is learning to write, continuing to learn to write better, write analytically. We're not doing book reports, right? You should be analyzing the literature and learning how to do things like that. We do have 2 textbooks. One is this Norton Introduction to Literature, shorter 13th edition. Buy this book used if you're going to buy the book. That's one book. And the second book is called Lulu Anu. It's a graphic novel. So when you open it up and you're like, it's a comic book. It's like, yes, it is. So don't be surprised there. Very interesting book. And our second essay is going to be discussing genre and comparing the graphic novel to a play we're going to read. A very important note about the textbooks, I got links to all the readings up there on D2L. If you don't want to buy the textbook, that's fine. You can just use the links. You just have to be make sure the links work before you get. Don't wait till 11:58 on a Monday night and tell me a link doesn't work. I won't be up. You probably should have checked it earlier. And I try and check them as we go along too. But because of copyright, sometimes people will take down a link or a web page or something, and we'll have to figure something out. But generally, it works pretty well. If you're an older person like me, I can't do a lot of screen reading like that. I can't read an entire play on a computer screen. It just makes my eyes go. But if you're fine with that, there's also Little Anu. It's also available on the EBSCO database, and I'll send you a link to that, so you can go straight to that if you don't want to buy the book. It's kind of up to you. And by the way, it's an internet class, so I'll never know, right? For the grading breakdown, you can go to the last page on the syllabus. Make that smaller. And you can see all the work we're going to be doing for the course. We've got 3 major essays and a final exam. The first essay is going to be on fiction. The second essay is going to be on drama and the graphic novel. And the last essay is going to be on poetry. Then a final exam. And the daily work is going to be these responses. There were 30 points each, and we're going to drop the lowest grade at the end of the semester. So if you just kind of bomb one or something, or you just miss one, it won't kill your grade just from missing one response paper. Start missing 2, you're going to start running into some problems, though, right? That adds up to 1,010 points. That means there's 10 bonus points built into the course. 900 points is an A, 800 is a B, 700 is a C. Just 90%, 80%, 70% skill with the 10 bonus points. Just go over a couple of policies. The big one, if it's boxed, that's a sign that's where the troubles start to occur in internet courses. If you have a problem or concern, you got to let me know as soon as possible. Even if it turns out to be kind of a silly question or something, that's fine. Don't worry about it. You want to clarify, concerns you have as soon as you can, or if you can't find something on D2L, let me know. Sometimes I forget to put things up, so it may not be you. But if you don't tell me the problem, I can't help you. And you just don't want to be in that position. Just send the email. I'll answer the question, and we communicate well. Keep small problems small. Make sure you save your work. If you're about to turn in your final version of essay number 1 worth 20% of your grade, and boom, something happens, I can't help you, right? Hopefully I might have the draft in the D2L Dropbox, but make sure you have backup work. Don't let your kids get on there and delete your Google Docs, or your computer blow up and you have nothing saved anywhere else. Also, don't throw out any or delete any graded work. If I die in a fiery car crash the day before grades are due, you want to have all your documentation showing that you took the class and I graded your work, and you want to get that grade, right? I'll try not to die in a fiery car crash, but maybe I hit the lottery and I'm out of here. You just want to make sure you have yourself covered, right? And you can support a grade challenge if you have to make one. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if you just delete everything, you don't have any proof you took the course, you can't really say much. For general communications, I expect you to check your D2L email every day, just once a day. You don't have to be obsessive about it, but kind of make a habit of changing it. Make sure you read all of my emails word for word. I try not to jibber jabber too much in them, and kind of avoid scanning an email and missing important information. That's our primary mode of communication, and you want to make sure you're getting the information I'm sending, right? But make sure you check that D2L email every day. You can do that on your phone. It only takes about 30 seconds, a minute at the most. And I will generally check my D2L email every day around 1 p.m. And also during my online office hours whenever I post those. But I try to answer emails as quickly as possible, because you're trying to get, you got this class, you might have another class, you got your life to deal with. You don't want to sit around waiting 6 hours for me to answer an email in the middle of the day. But do keep in mind, I do have a life too, so my promise is probably around 1 p.m. I will check just to make sure there's nothing sitting there. The rest you can read. Kind of another one. Make sure you ask questions in your email. If you just send me an email saying, "Wow, this first essay is hard," I'm going to be like, "Well, yeah." If I even answer, you didn't ask a question. That doesn't, something like that doesn't require a response from me, and I might just end up saying, "Yeah, some students find this first essay to be very difficult." You haven't asked a question. You haven't told me a problem. So try to be as specific as you can. I know sometimes that's hard, especially if you're feeling totally lost. But the better, the more precise question you ask, the more precise answer I can give, right? The rest of this, again, assignments are due on Monday and Thursdays by midnight. I won't take late responses more than a week late. I don't want students trying to hand all 13 responses in on August 8th or something like that. Make sure you keep it up in the class. But let me know what's happening. If you run into a problem, send me a quick email saying, "Hey, I had to work 50,000 hours this week. I'll get that response paper to you tomorrow." I'll probably just be like, "Okay." As long as you're not making a big habit of late work, I'll try and work with you, right? Because life does happen. The rest. Vacation policy is kind of important. I shouldn't really know if you take a vacation, right? It's an internet class. You should be able to, if you're going on vacation or something, make sure you have internet access when you get there. Make sure you take your laptop and all that good stuff. Also keep in mind, pretty much every Starbucks, every coffee shop, every fast food place has free internet access. There's really no reason for you not to be able to access the internet. And you can access D2L on your phone. Certainly send me a quick email if you run into a problem there. But if you're going to take a cruise and for 3 weeks and you're not going to have internet for 3 weeks, that's going to be a problem, right? But make sure you're making plans. I'm in the same boat, right? If I'm going somewhere, I got to make sure there's internet so I can do my job here with the class. The rest is pretty straightforward. If you drop a class, be sure you see what happens with financial aid and scholarships. Some students run into problems there. If you can't cheat in the class. Some of these you're going to look at and go like, why is that there? So some of this is just we're required to put into our syllabi. We're not even meeting as a class, so there's no reason for the emergency statement, but they want it in there. But if you have questions as you're doing the syllabus quiz and reading through the syllabus, let me know. It should all fairly kind of make sense. You may not like certain policies, but it should make sense to you about why it's there. Also on the content page, you'll see the class schedule. Make that bigger. I had to make it pretty small font to get it on one page. But again, assignments are due Mondays by 11:59, Thursdays by 11:59. Again, I'm not up at that time, so if you're going to turn it at 2 in the morning, that's fine. But when someone says due, it's due that day. So response number 1 syllabus quiz is due Thursday, June 2nd. Again, that should be pretty quick. You just download the quiz, answer the questions from the syllabus, submit it in the D2L Dropbox. If you run into problems with that, let me know. If you can't get the Dropbox to work for some reason, maybe you're new to D2L or whatever, let me know, and I'll try and work with you, especially the first couple of weeks. But you can see we're going to start doing the readings. Going to start with the American Enlightenment folks. Actually, going to start with Puritan William Bradford there, and start getting into interesting questions about what's literature, what's American literature, who decides these things, and what do they look like as we go through different periods in time. But if it says read, you should read that and then do the response. You can't really do the response until you've read the assigned readings there. Sometimes it looks like a lot, but like these excerpts are fairly short. You don't want to wait till 11:50 on Thursday night to start reading these. But it's a condensed class. It's kind of an accelerated course. So make sure you're kind of allotting enough time to make sure you get the readings and the responses done. But we're going to start with the fiction. Then we'll start with essay number 1. Then we move on to drama. Henrik Ibsen's The Dollhouse. Then we'll read the graphic novel Lulu Anu. And even though it says I know July 4th is a holiday, turn it in early, right? These are the last days to turn things in. You can always submit work in early. And I encourage you to do that. But then we'll move on to the drama and the graphic novel. Then we'll finish with poetry, and then end with the final exam. And kind of saying everything needs to kind of get in here because grades are due on Sunday, August 14th. So if you say, "Oh, turn that final exam into you next week," I'm like, next week the grades are in. So again, communicate. Let me know what the problem is. I'll try and work with you. Sometimes I can't, but generally want to try. Most problems can be worked out, right? All righty. Again, that's kind of a quick introduction. Let me know if you have questions. If you can't find something, if you don't know how to do something, and we'll try and work it out. But I will talk to you later. Looking forward to a good semester. It should be a fun class, but it's going to be quick. It's going to move pretty quickly. So make sure you allot time carefully, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.